Miss Turner's class. You need help with homework? It's Miss Turner's class. I got you. It's Miss Turner's class. What about if you didn't understand something in class? It's Miss Turner's class. I got you.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, we are focusing on Module 3, Lesson 4, and we are no longer on area and perimeter, but we have to keep that information in the back of our minds because today we are going to be focusing on multiplication. And specifically multiplying multiples of 10. So 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million. Those are multiples of 10, and that is what we are going to be multiplying by today. Let's go ahead and get started. So, before we get started on a multiple of 10, let's think for a second. Each time I move up a place value chart, so if I'm going from ones to tens, tens to hundreds, hundreds to thousands, what am I doing? Am I A, multiplying by 100, B, multiplying by 10, C, dividing by 10, D, dividing by 100, or E, multiplying by 1,000? What am I doing? I want you to think back to the very beginning of the school year. If you said B, you are absolutely correct. We are going to be multiplying by 10 every single time we move to the next place value. This is very similar, you guys, to measurements where every single time we moved up a step, we multiply it by 10. It is the same concept. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started on our first problem. So it says drag the place value discs and arrows to represent each product. I have 5 times 100. Which really means I have 5 ones times 100. So I'm going to drag my group of 5 discs to my ones place, and I'm multiplying by 100. So how many times am I going to drag my 5 ones over? If every time I multiply by 10, every time I move to the next place value, I'm multiplying by 10, how many times do I need to drag my 5 ones? If you said 2, you're absolutely correct. I'm going to be dragging or multiplying by 10 2 times because I need to go all the way to the hundreds. I know this because I'm multiplying by 100, which is the same thing as saying 10 times 10. So I'm going to be dragging my 5 ones all the way over to the hundreds. So that means that 5 times 100 equals 500. Which is the same thing as saying 5 times 10 times 10, which is also 500. And 5 ones times 100 is the same thing as now saying 5 hundreds. Let's try another one. In this problem, we have 5 times 1,000. So I know that 5, I'm going to start in my ones place because I have 5 ones and I'm multiplying by 1,000. So how many times am I going to be moving my 5 ones over, my group of 5 ones? If you said 3, you're absolutely correct. If you're still struggling, think about it this way. 1,000 is the same thing as saying blank times blank times blank. Yeah, 10 times 10 times 10. And every time I move to the next place value, I'm multiplying by 10. So that means that I am moving my group of 5 ones over 3 times. There's my first time. 10 times 10 times 10, which leads me into the thousands place. All right, you guys. So same as before, 5 times 1,000 is the same thing as saying 5,000. Oop, I forgot a 0. Which is the same thing as saying 5 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. And 5 ones times 1,000 is the same thing as saying 5,000. All right, team. Let's go ahead and complete slide 4. On this slide, it's a little bit different because it's not requiring us to use our place value chart. Instead, we're going to have to rely on our place value knowledge in order to complete these problems. So let's start with A. It says 6 times 10. That means I have 6 ones or a group of 6 ones, and I'm multiplying by 10. So what place value would my 6 ones be moving to if I'm only multiplying by 10? Yeah, it will be moving to the tens, right? Because I'm multiplying by 10, which means it's only going over one time. So that means I have 6 tens. 6 tens is the same thing as saying what? Yeah, 60. Good. Part B is blank times 6 equals 600. So, I know that in this problem, I'm ending here at the 600s. 3, 4, 5, 6. But in order to get all the way to the hundreds, I'm multiplying 6 times something. What would I be multiplying 6 ones by in order to get all the way to 600s? What do you think? Yes, 100. I know this because I'm multiplying 6 ones times 10 to get to 6 tens, and then I'm multiplying it by 10 more to get to 600s. 10 times 10 equals 100. All right, you guys, what about this one? 6,000 equals blank times 1,000. Ooh. All right, so same as before, y'all. Here's what we know. We know I'm ending in the thousands. I have 6 of them. I have 6 of them. So let's go ahead and count our 6,000s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where I'm ending. And whatever I'm doing, I'm multiplying by 1,000 all the way to get to 6,000. So what would I be multiplying by 1,000 in order to get to 6,000? Yes, 6. 6 times 1,000. All right, team, what about this one? 10 times 4. That means I'm making 10 groups of 4, or that simply means I have 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. One group of 4 ones, and I'm multiplying by 10. So now I have 4 tens, which is the same thing as what? 4 tens is the same thing as saying what? Yes, good, 40. Oh, you guys don't need this place value chart. What about this one? 4 times what equals 400? Okay, maybe we might still need that place value chart. Well, 4 times 10 got me to 40. So if I multiply 10 more, I would be at 400. So altogether, 10 times 10 equals what? 4 times what? Yes, 100. All right, now for this one, blank times 4 equals 4,000. So I multiplied 4 times 10 to get to 40, multiplied 40 times 10 to get to 400, and now I'm going to be multiplying 400 times 10 to get to 4,000. 10 times 10 times 10. What's going to go in this blank? Yes, good, 1,000. And on our last row, 1,000 times 9. So this time, y'all, I have one group of 9 ones. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my one group of 9 ones, and I'm multiplying by 1,000. So how many times am I going to move over on this place value chart? Yeah, I agree, 3 times. So 9 times 10 to get me to 90 by another 10, which would get me to what? Good, 900. And then by one more 10, which would get me to what? Yes, 9,000. All right, and our second to last one, blank equals 10 times 9. So we're trying to figure out what is that product of 10 and 9. Well, I know I have 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm multiplying by 10, which leads me to the tens place. And now I have 9 tens. What is the same thing as saying 9 tens? How would I write 9 tens in standard form? Yes, good, 90. And then my last problem on this page is 900 equals blank times 100. So I know I'm ending in the hundreds place, and I have 9 of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm ending here. And I multiplied by 100 in order to get here. So how many place values should I go back in order to figure out where I'm starting? If I'm multiplying by 100, how many place values should I go back to figure out where my problem is initially starting? If you said 2, you're absolutely correct. I know this because in the number 100, that means I'm moving over 2 place values, right? I'm moving, so I'm going from the hundreds all the way back to the ones. So if I'm bringing these hundreds all the way back to my ones, that means I have 9 ones. Ooh, 9 ones, you guys. So in this blank, I know that 9 times 100 equals 900. All right, team. Until next time, bye.